India has clinched a $2 billion submarine deal with Russia, on which Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal is currently speaking. Let's quickly listen in.
Reforms, transformational initiatives like a single tax across the country, the goods and services tax. Within that, evolving with the times to make it simpler, to make it more consumer friendly, to continuously bring down the rates of taxation and make it very friendly for the business community and encourage consumer spending. At the same time, our new labor codes have brought 29 laws into 4 labor codes, focusing largely on a better deal for our workmen, better salaries, higher national minimum wages, more safety against occupational hazards, a social security net for all, including gig workers and contract workers.
It was Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal speaking after India and Russia signed a deal to lease nuclear-powered submarines to India. India will pay about $2 billion to lease nuclear-powered submarine from Russia, finalizing delivery of the vessel after roughly a decade of conversations, just as President Vladimir Putin makes his visit to India in just a couple of hours from now. Talks for leasing the attack submarine from Russia had stalled over the years because of the price negotiation. The people who are familiar with the matter informed, asking and in fact finalizing that deal and sharing details of that deal is Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal. The two sides have now agreed on the deal, and the Indian officials visited a Russian shipyard in November earlier to finalize that deal. India expects to take the delivery of the vessel within the next 2 years, although the complexity of the project means it could be delayed. But what it means for India, detailing all of that, was Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal. My colleague Karthikeya is joining us with more details. Karthikeya, just a couple of hours before Vladimir Putin makes an entry into India, and it looks like now that both sides have signed a long-stalled submarine deal. All right, we'll try and get Karthikeya in just a couple of minutes. But meanwhile, details, of course, coming in of the Indian-Russian submarine deal, as Vladimir Putin is likely to enter India in just a couple of hours from now this evening. India will pay about $2 billion to lease a nuclear-powered submarine from Russia, which could finalize the deal after roughly a decade of conversations. And this is coming on the heels of Vladimir Putin's visit to New Delhi. This is his first visit since the war in Ukraine. Both the leaders are expected to have conversations on defense, energy, and that submarine, of course, deal has also come through right ahead of Putin's visit to India. And India and Russia, of course, will be deepening their economic engagement, as the India-Russia Business Forum will also convene this afternoon at the Bharat Mandapam. The event that aims to unlock new avenues for Indian exporters under the theme of Sell to Russia. Remember, India and Russia hope to advance their bilateral deal and bilateral import-export to $100 billion by 2030, currently at about $65 billion. And starting with a series, of course, of conversations that are happening ahead of Putin's visit to India. Now, India and Russia, as I said, will be deepening their economic engagement as well by the way of the India-Russia Business Forum that convenes now in Bharat Mandapam ahead of Putin's visit to India, which is organized by FICCI in partnership with the Union Commerce Ministry. Let's listen into what the Commerce Minister is saying there.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's first summit meeting with His Excellency President Vladimir Putin, We aimed for a $30 billion bilateral trade, as His Excellency just mentioned, by 2025. We are twice that already. Of course, you very rightly pointed out that it's very skewed and needs to be more balanced. We need to bring more diversity in our trade basket. We need to make it more balanced inter, say, Russia and India. We need to add more variety. And there's so much to offer between both countries. There's so much that we believe we can take from Russia. There's such a large variety of offerings that 1.4 billion Indians from India have to offer to Russia, that the sky is the limit. And I think if we all work together, particularly our business community takes a leap of faith, I am very sure this untapped potential can be explored. The partnership will flourish. We'll address the trade imbalance in the near future, and we'll work collectively to eliminate, reduce, dilute the trade barriers, if any. We'll work to create the right conditions to open opportunities for business persons on both sides. And therefore, the theme of today's business forum, sell to Russia, and within that, balanced growth, shared growth, I think is extremely opportune, comes at a moment of time when it is very relevant. Russia has a huge demand for a wide range of industrial goods, consumer products, presenting multiple untapped opportunities for Indian businesses. Many sectors with a strong potential would include, as you were mentioning, the automobile sector, whether it's cars, tractors, heavy commercial vehicles, electronics, smartphones, data processing equipment, heavy machinery, industrial components, textiles, food products, and many more. Friends, entrepreneurship runs deep in India's DNA. As we have developed our startup ecosystem to become the third largest in the world, propelling innovation across deep tech, agri-tech, fintech, defense, semiconductors, space, opportunities galore, which makes India a destination of choice, a provider of substance. I'm sure even investors looking for high value returns would find a lot of opportunities in India. Also, our demographic dividend, the young, hardworking, talented, skilled men and women can fill Russia's large 3 million talent shortfall that I'm told exists. And I can assure you, our young people are not only very hardworking, they will not complain that it's Friday evening or it's Saturday and we need to go off. Our young men and women are driven, willing to work 7 days a week if the requirement is there. Willing to really put in long hours, a lot of hard work, very committed, very, very conscious of their responsibilities, outcome oriented. After all, we produce the world's largest number of STEM graduates, 2.4 million STEM graduates coming out of our universities and colleges every year. I am sure these young men and women, the talent from India can inject innovative design skills, analytics, research, and other capabilities which will enhance Russia's competitiveness in the world markets. In conclusion, I would like to quote a phrase by Sul.
Talking about the bilateral trade between India and Russia, speaking of how India is going to be a $35 trillion economy by 2047. Also talking about how fragile the Indian economy was 11 years ago before the government took office, and says that we have taken very tough and transformative decisions to strengthen India's economy. Commerce Minister
Find many more ranges ahead to conquer. We may have achieved $70 billion of bilateral trade, but we cannot rest. We need to grow that. We need to balance that. We need to have the shared prosperity of both regions in our focus. In fact, Raj Kapoor's famous film Avara, whose timeless songs touched hearts across, I am told.
We'll of course try and get that back, but it's a crucial meeting there where Union Ministry of Commerce is in conversation with a Russian delegation. In fact, at Bharat Mandapam, the event aims to unlock new avenues for Indian exporters under the theme Sell to Russia, new opportunities for Indian businesses. Union Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal is addressing the gathering there along with senior Russian delegates, including Maxim Oshkin.
Achieving
Is there
better results for the shared prosperity of India and Russia. Dhanyavad, thank you very much. Spasiba.